Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Show, your only late night VR talk show that I know of. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, I've just been having such a blast these last couple of weeks. There's been so many great games to play, and I've actually had a little bit of time to get in and play them. And man, I'm having the time of my life. What about you?
Oh, I'm dying over and over and over again, bro. Just it's a fucking rinse, repeat. Get some amazing stuff, think you're gonna do it, and then die to something stupid, or get to the boss and then die some. I'm just having a returnal nightmare on that first area, but it's a progression. Like you have to. I'm just constantly unlocking different things, and it's just getting easier each time I go in. So I get a little further, and I expect to have that boss down soon.
You know, you got to pay your dues in a game like that, right? You don't get to just pick it up and run through it. You got to earn your keep, so to speak. And it's interesting because I'm just assuming that you're talking about Returnal, but it's possible that you're not,
Mm,
because all of these things could be said about one of the titles that we're covering today as well.
that's true. That's true. But no, I am talking about Returnal. It's in my blood. I can't help it. And it's the worst part about it, Wes, is just I get so irritated when I get hit by anything. It's just like son of a bitch, man. I
Yeah.
want my life bar. Damn it. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, it's annoying, especially when you know, you're just a little ways into the level, and you're off to a really good start. You've found a couple of things that are kind of rare, and you just know this is going to be a good run. And then you take that hit, and taking that hit means that you can't grow your health bar like you would have been able to had you not taken it. Um, when I was a bit more inexperienced with it, I would restart my game a lot when that happened,
Mm,
but as I gained experience, I learned that you should stick with it because sometimes those runs that have a little bit of a rough start turn out to be some of the best runs overall because of the random nature of the world that gets generated in these roguelike games. You never know what you're going to find in the next room.
yeah, absolutely. Do you ever find that you spawn into a specific type of map and you're just like, fuck no. I don't like this. Like there's certain specific types of maps that like just right off the bat, it's just a lot of work, man. I'm going down and stairways into weird stuff. I don't know. I just don't like it. There's certain layouts are better than others, I guess.
Yeah, and as time goes on, that becomes a little bit easier, especially after you get the grappling hook, because when you get that thing, you can fly through these levels.
I want it now.
Um, you know, I wouldn't even think about it if I were you because uh, you don't get it as soon as you think you would.
Mm,
It takes a while to get that.
yeah. Well, I can stare at those dots and dream, I guess. Dare to dream.
Yeah. That's a lot of the replay value of the game is that there are certain items that unlock parts of these levels, and some of these items you don't get until much later in the game. And and I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil how things are going to go. But there are certain areas of these early maps that you can't visit on your first playthrough of the game. Like some of these areas you won't get to visit until after you beat the game and
Mm.
start replaying it.
Yeah, I would imagine lava, water, there's stuff in there's things in places I can't get to. I'm like, I've tried going down there and then I die, and I'm like, oh, that was a nice elaborate ruse to get screw roots over. But yeah, no, it's definitely and this is I guess my a way to tie it back into VR before we go into the actual show is it's got so much depth. You know what I mean? There's so much to it. I want it in VR. I want that depth in VR, and we're a bit away from it. Even the most deepest of deep game in VR is not even the scratch in the surface to this thing. This is why you kind of laughed when I kind of equated Risk of Rain 2 with this game. You're like, no, no, Returnal, no,
Yeah.
this ain't Returnal.
Well, to be fair, I haven't played many games in my life, flat VR, period, like this one. I mean, this has quickly become one of my favorite games that I've ever played, because it has uncommon depth to the gameplay, and it's very addictive and endlessly replayable.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Now, with that said, again, one of the titles that we're covering here today has a lot of that stuff in it. It's not deep quite on the level of Returnal, but a lot of the things that you like about Returnal are present in one of our games that we're talking about today. So I'm looking forward to getting into that one.
Yeah, true. True.
Anyway, tons to talk about. A veritable smorgasbord of VR games for us to pick from this week. Like, we decided to completely forego a discussion topic this week and only talk about games. We picked 4 games to play this week, and dude, we had more, right? We have more that we could have talked about that I guess we're going to just carry over to next week and the week after.
Yeah, yeah, actually, and you know what's funny is the game that we decided to go with actually had a lot more enjoyed a lot more this time than I ever have, which is I was very shocked. Shocked,
Uh,
Wes.
I'll be interested to get around to that one then because there were aspects of it I enjoyed as well, but uh, no big surprises for me. Like it was pretty close to what I expected it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, tons to talk about. Don't want to waste a bunch of time jibber jabbering. So why don't we kick it off the way we always do by saying hello to our friends in chat? And I knew it. I knew it, Roots. I knew that Dark Angel was going to be in the chat because she only comes out after midnight, man.
Yeah, well, as soon as you brought up that, right? I mean, right when you just said that, she came out. Yeah, actually, this is a good time. This is, it's we get a different crowd this late at night. You think you're just not seeing as many people, but you find out who the real hardcores are, right? Who's going to show up late at night?
Yeah, and while I'm shouting out Dark Angel, I'd like to point out to her that yesterday I finally, after talking about it for 3 months, finally put out my first ever live stream gameplay. I've never streamed any gameplay before ever, and I've been talking about it a lot. Um, but I didn't go on till like 1 a.m. and I literally ended up streaming like almost till daylight last night. Uh, I had a blast. So
It's
if
addictive.
she likes the late night content, stay tuned because I had a lot of fun last night, and I definitely see myself now that I have the experience under my belt. It's something that I can just flip a switch and turn on whenever I want.
Yeah, that's why it's easy and it's kind of addictive. You just get in there and it's fun as long as you have the people there to talk to. Even though I guess if you're just ready to play the game at all, but if you're going like old school, just and you don't have a show to back you up like we do, it can be daunting because nobody comes in and you're just sitting there playing a game. That's the biggest thing to remember is you should always have at least one person watching you streaming
Yeah,
yourself.
well, it was nice, man. It was nice. We started off with about 10 people. We got up to about 20 for a little while. And then even at the very end, 4:30 a.m., there was still 8, 9 people in the chat at the end of the thing, who were still hanging out at the end of like a 3+ hour stream. So it was a great time. I enjoyed having people to talk to while I played VR, more than I expected.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, Wolveraza in the chat, he was around for most of it last night, if not all of it. He says it was cool, but still, fucking clowns, man. Like he's got a thing, like a lot of people do. He's scared of clowns,
You know
and
who else has a thing for clowns in a different way?
I,
My
I do.
mom!
Oh yeah, she does.
Anyway, we one of the games I streamed yesterday was Rush of Blood, so
Mm.
he's kind of freaking out a little bit at the clowns and stuff. But it was all good times.
I got good news
Um,
and bad news, Wes. The good news is I own Rush of Blood. Bad news is my roommate doesn't own his PlayStation anymore. Sold it. So
oh, that's not good.
or his VR anyway, the PlayStation VR.
Yep, that is unfortunate. So much good stuff coming for PSVR.
Yeah, I just got to pick up one soon.
Mepper in the chat, as is Gamertag VR. What's up, GT? GT stopped by for a minute last night too. Um, and a lot of people did. Space Dennison in the chat. What's up, Chris Duncan? Midlife Kid. Uh, see, Techno Glitch is in the house, as is Radio Runt, and I think Spry Guy was, yeah,
He
Spry Guy.
was.
Spry Guy was first. So Traveling Man 3775. Nice little crew as we head into tomorrow. So why don't we get things started here and start talking a little VR, and let's kick it off the way that we obviously should. Let's talk about what everybody's been talking about. Let's talk a little bit about Fracked. Um, you know, People that have been following our channel for the last week have, I'm sure, have noticed us alluding to the thing that we can't talk about. It was revealed Tuesday what that thing is, and it was a Fracked demo that is now live on the PlayStation Store, free for anyone to play that has a PlayStation VR. And what this demo comprises is about the first 30 minutes of the upcoming Fracked game. I want to thank the good people at In Dreams for providing Roots and I with early access to this demo. And I had a blast, man. I had a blast playing it. And all of the sudden, Roots, a month seems like a long time because it's going to be a month before we get the full version. And I don't want to wait. I want to play it now.
Wow. So yeah, so is that good, huh?
Yeah, it was solid, man. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Um, this game is specifically enhanced for PlayStation 5, and I played it on my PlayStation 5. So I was able to experience. I mean, this is the really, let's be honest, this is the first game that has been developed with PlayStation 5 in mind for VR. We've had other games that were updated, Blood and Truth, Firewall, Dreams, to name the most notable ones. Star Wars Squadrons apparently is a lot better on the PS5, but Fracked will be the first one that was developed for PlayStation 5. And to be honest, it shows. And it's amazing, Roots. It's amazing when you consider that this 5+ year old headset that has a 960 by 1080 per eye resolution. It's amazing the amount of clarity that you can actually get when you're pushing it with something as powerful as a PlayStation 5.
That's just crazy. Yeah, no, I'm jealous. I wanted to get into this and check it out. I got half of the equation. I just don't have the other half yet. I did not pick up Dreams on the sale yet. Is it over? Is the sale over? Did I miss it?
There's a brand new sale, and I'd be shocked if Dreams wasn't a part of it. They constantly have Dreams on sale anymore.
I need to though. No, I've just been Returnal in it, so I haven't even thought of any other games on the PS5. I even have those other two games haven't really touched. So
But anyway, I mean, this game on PS5 was reminiscent of Blood and Truth on PS5 in one way, and that is the near to mid distance objects. It was hard to see any screen door with it. It
really,
was hard to see any screen door. Now, the far objects, it becomes very obvious, right? Things that are in the distance are
hmm.
pixely, you know. But the stuff that's close up, just absolutely beautiful. It doesn't seem right. It seems like this shouldn't be possible, but it just
Hmm.
goes to show you what a difference a high quality panel can make. Like, people are talking about how Sony's going with Samsung OLEDs. That's the rumor for the next headset. And it's easy to see why when you look at their original headset, because it's had, you know, such a long lifespan. And if you're going to be console based, you got to have a headset that lasts for 5 to 6 years, right? And you know, the original PSVR OLED AMOLED is a perfect example of the benefits of investing in a higher quality panel.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Especially if you're just think of what the PS5 VR can push, right? Like or when it comes out, how good it's gonna look with the same hardware. So
Yeah, and it's going to be an amazing first few years of the PlayStation 5 VR because it's going to come about 2 years into the or a year, no, it would be 2 years, 2 years into the PS5 life cycle, and shortly after we get that headset, uh, you know, I'm sure the launch games will be amazing, just using the raw power of the console. But as we move forward through those first few years, we're going to see new optimizations on the software side that further enhance the ability of the console. Things like Unreal Engine 5
mm,
coming out. Things like the AMD what's it called? I always forget what it's called. The new AMD graphics, AI graphics method, uh, FSR, AMD FSR. Things like Unreal Engine 5, things like FSR are going to allow developers to get even more out of the console, and nothing's going to benefit from that quite like VR. So it's a lot to be excited about, and having this first exclusive uh, Sony exclusive VR game that was developed during the PS5 era, and seeing how good it looks on the old hardware, it's just it's enough to get someone like me who really loves PSVR very excited for the future. And we were just talking about how long a month is. Man, 18 of them seems like an eternity right now.
month is just long enough for me to get a headset before this comes out. Dave Station VR throwing a $2 tip, saying this time the tip train is a ski lift toot toot. And so coming through with the tip train, and he's also says this is the amazing on the PS5 with it being optimized. It just looks gorgeous. So
Yeah, it does. He says, and thanks by the way, Dave, for the tip. We appreciate it. He also says that Fracked might be the best looking thing I've seen on PSVR, and it's just fun as hell. It might be. Now, I'm not ready to give it the crown over Blood and Truth because Blood and Truth is beautiful on PS5 as well. But it's that level of clarity. It absolutely is that level of clarity. I think where they differ is the art style. This is a more abstract, cell shaded. It's more artistic. It's very colorful. In fact, the colors are really the first thing that jumps out to you as soon as you boot into this thing.
mm,
It is so bright and vivid and colorful, and again, it really takes advantage of the OLED panels in the PlayStation VR.
yeah, absolutely. Wolveraz is afraid of the shift in the new controller system in the two. Um, so I'm not sure exactly. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm excited for that.
Well, that only becomes an issue if they decide to do something crazy like make it 100% backwards compatible with all the old PSVR games, which I don't expect. I do expect we'll see newer versions of some of those games. I don't expect that you're going to just be able to load any old PSVR game on the PS5 VR and have it work. I mean, it's too different. The tracking's different, the controllers are different. It's 100% a different thing. And that's the reason why I avoid calling it PSVR 2 because I think it's going to be so different from PSVR that I'm not sure that they're even going to call it that. They might because most of the media is referring to it as that, so they might want to stick with the brand. But I mean, I think this thing is going to be so different than the Gen One PSVR that we'll only get uh, the the biggest exclusives ported over to the new system.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Can't wait. Hearing weird stuff from my video card, Wes. This would be the time to run over and tape it. I just can't, dude. I'm in the middle of a show. Um,
Yeah, well, I mean, reproducing on camera, it's a specialty of someone I know.
yeah.
Anyway, Fracked was or the Fracked demo, by the way, was a lot of fun. It starts off with this skiing segment. So you start off at the top of a mountain where you're kind of, I guess the idea is that you're trapped up there. You shoot off a flare gun, and immediately a helicopter comes to assist you, and you start skiing downhill. And it starts off very slow at first. I was very afraid that they were going to try to hold your hand a little too much because it takes it a minute before the your speed really picks up. But happy to say, after a minute or two, you really get going quickly downhill,
Mm.
and it's much easier to control than some of the other skiing and snowboarding games that we've played in VR. It's all 100% uh, guided by the way you tilt your head. So like, there's no controller involved with it at all. Um, and notably, this game you're going to love this Roots. Fracked is designed to be played seated, so it's very comfortable to play. And despite there being tons of climbing and skiing sequences in this game, it's all designed to be done from a chair, and therefore much easier to play than previous skiing type games that we've played.
Oh, that's awesome. Because people forget that most gamers actually, believe it or not, outside of VR, they sit down when they play video games. Almost every game, people are sitting, right? This is the one genre where you're expected to stand all the time. And I, for one, I want to sit, damn it. So Dave Station says the music is awesome as well. And so that, I think, and Gamertag is also saying that. So yeah, now I
Yeah,
really
it had
need to
all
play it.
yeah, it had all the hallmarks of a Sony exclusive, and you know what that means, right?
Mm.
That it seemed like a first party Sony game.
Now let me
And
ask you this: are you concerned? Because I was reading Wolveraza's. He said he is excited about the getting the controller. He's just worried that Sony's going to not really understand how to use the controllers, and they're going to make it up as they go. I personally think what's going to happen is they're going to set the new standard after using this other controller. Do you hear that in the background? That little rattle? That's my card. Anyway, maybe you guys don't hear it and only I do. But yeah, so it's I think that Sony's
oh,
going to be setting the stage with after using the controllers, the new controllers. I'm not worried about what Sony's doing with controllers. I think they're going to nail the PSVR controllers.
yeah, so Wolveraza, he said what he said was that that he's worried that Sony, as a hardware developer, won't look at how the rest of the industry uses their controllers and implement that into to their new controller. And I would have two things to say about that. First of all, if you look at the button layout on the new controllers, it's identical to Oculus Touch controllers. So I would say that one, that's pretty much proof to me right there that they are looking at other devices in terms of the design of their hardware. But the second thing, and more importantly, with regards to what Wolveraz is saying here, is that it's really not up to Sony how the controllers are implemented in games. It's up to the developers. The developers are who decides how to use the tools that Sony gives them. So, like all of the button configurations and controller configurations, that's all 100% on the developers. So it really not going to have much to do with Sony. So I would expect these controllers to be, as far as button functionality, to be pretty much on point with everything else that we see in VR. But again, to what Roots was saying here, we're going to have new functionality in these controllers as well, with the haptics. So there is going to be a bit of trailblazing here with regards to some of the new functionality of the Sony hardware.
I just think that's the way I look at it. I think that we're going to be talking about how the industry is trying to copy their controllers, not the other way around. But that's
Right.
just after using their controllers recently.
Dave Station VR, $5 tip. Thank you, sir. Says the controls are perfect, to be honest, for the moves. All of this game, also the game has style dripping off of every inch of it. Um, yeah, man. The controller setup for Fracked is your typical PlayStation VR Move controller setup. So, like, it works the way that you would expect it to work. So, the left move button moves you forward. You turn by hitting the bottom two face buttons. It's the typical move controller locomotion setup. I did have a couple issues with the control scheme though. Not really with what they did, but more so what they didn't do. There was no option for headset based locomotion. It was only controller based, and that typically is not the way I like to play. I like to move in the direction that I'm looking, and there was no option for that. Um, Also, I would have liked to have some strafe buttons. Now, the cover mechanic in this game is really cool because basically all you have to do to uh, to avoid incoming bullets is grab something close to you and pull yourself behind it, and it works really well with the move controllers. Um, but with that said, I still would like a classic strafe functionality for when maybe I'm not close close enough to grab something to hide behind. You can strafe, but to strafe you have to point your controller directly sideways and point in that direction. And again, that's not how I prefer to play. Now, again, it all felt very good, and I didn't really have any issues with it. But you know, what we always say here on the channel, the more options you give people, the better. And there weren't options for my preferred play style. So hopefully, by the time this game actually hits the store, we're going to see a much more full gamut of movement options.
So you compared it to Blood and Truth as far as like the way it looks. How about gameplay wise and movement wise? Because Blood and Truth, you're
Oh,
kind of more on a rail, where this one you're clearly able to move around more, right?
complete freedom in this game to move wherever you want. The locomotion speed is good. Like, and they did something very innovative with the move controller in this regard. So you have a walk and a run. So you just double tap the walk button if you want to run. But beyond that, there's an in between. You can walk quickly or you can walk slowly, and that's controlled by the degree to which you tilt the move controller.
Hmm.
So if you want to move faster, you tilt it forward. If you want to slow down, you tilt it back a little bit. So you have a lot of control with regards to your pacing and how quickly you can move. And um, a lot of games come out and they play kind of slowly, uh, and you have to wait on a patch before the move speed or the movement speed is corrected to something that's comfortable. Not the case here. This game is paced pretty well out of the box if you turn everything all the way up the way I did.
Yeah. Well, I think it definitely looks amazing to me. I can't wait to try it, and I can't wait to play PSV. Now, that's what I was one thing I was going to ask you though. It says, do you feel like you're feeling your desire to play PlayStation VR to go on your run now that you got finally got
Uh,
back in the headset, right?
well, I think that nothing really proves that more than my actual stream that I did last night. If it's a 30-minute demo, but if you'll look yesterday at my Fracked First Impressions live stream, it's over 3 hours long. So like we played through Fracked, and yeah, what you're saying is absolutely the truth. I got into PlayStation VR and didn't want to stop playing it, so I started playing Rush of Blood. And you'll remember a couple weeks ago I mentioned to you that Rush of Blood notably is one of the titles that don't work well on PlayStation 5. It notably crashes a lot um, whenever you're playing it from your PlayStation 5. So I told the people in chat to be thinking about what they want to see me play. And while they decide that, I want to play Rush of Blood until it crashes. Well, Roots, it never crashed. So,
Oh,
like, I ended up playing through the entirety of Rush of Blood. Um, and I had an absolute blast, dude. It's so fun. It's such a good game. And just looking through my PlayStation library, yeah, I'd say over the next 2, 3 weeks at least, I'm going to be in PSVR a lot, and I'm going to probably be streaming it, to be honest.
Nice. Well, that's awesome, bro. Well, I can't wait to. So, did you want to play more Fracked after you finish playing it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can't wait to play it. Like, the game's very fast paced, and it's unique in its level design. Normally, when you're playing these fast paced action games, uh, the levels kind of go outward in all directions. This one's a little bit different. Uh, while your path is kind of linear, um, it doesn't feel that way because the level design's more vertical than horizontal. So you're climbing and descending and climbing and descending. The levels don't just go out; they go up and down. And it's not just skiing either when you're coming down. Actually, uh, in the demo, you only ski on that first part, but the whole rest of the level, there's zip lines all through it. So you'll go through a little piece of a level, and then to get to the next area, you'll literally grab a hold of a zip line and zip down into it.
That's awesome.
So much fun.
Uh,
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome that they released a demo for everybody. And I know Drew, Delirium Drew said he was just picked up a new Move controller, and he's going to be checking it out later today.
That's awesome. It's awesome, dude. I guess one of his old moves died then, huh?
Yeah, probably. That's what that sounds like anyway.
I'm still playing with PS3 era move controllers. Like literally, uh, I had not all of them, but I've got four move controllers, but the two of them I literally had with my PlayStation 3 and the old move camera. Like, and they're still going strong for PSVR.
Crazy.
Wolveraza, I love the look of Frack. The middle ground reload is easier for me than an auto for sure. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the reload mechanics. It is kind of that population one style reload. So you run out of bullets and you run out of bullets quickly in this game. Like you're constantly reloading. But it's not really a pain because whenever you run out, the next clip is just kind of floating under your gun and you just push it up and then you have to of course click the slide to
Mm.
chamber around. But it all works very seamlessly. I didn't have any issues tracking my move controllers at all through the whole thing, and it all felt very good.
It's kind of BS, Wes, because when I ski down a slope and I'm shooting people, I have to manually reload in real life. You know what I mean? Not having that, not having it hanging there. You know what I mean? I think there's gonna be people that'll complain, and I think it's a game, and I think it's nice, like Wolveraza was saying, to not have to deal with it. So
Yeah, I actually mentioned that in my stream yesterday that some of the purists will probably complain about the arcade style reload, but this is an arcade style game, man. I mean, it's you're not shooting people, Roots. You're shooting interdimensional assholes that are making people disappear, and they're polluting the planet on top of it.
wow, jerks, bro.
They are jerks, and
Yeah.
I'm going to kill them all. One thing that I really enjoyed about this game is it's not all about the gunplay. There are explosive barrels on top of explosive barrels, strategically placed all throughout the level of the demo. And dude, if you blow up one of those barrels next to an enemy, it don't just melt them; it sends them flying like a far, long way away. And one of the first times I did it was so cool because I was probably a good 50 plus yards from this guy. I blew a barrel up next to him and he flew straight at me, like right into my face. It was amazing.
That's awesome for sure.
Um, I'm trying to find out what Wolveraz is laughing so hard about in the chat. Dave Station VR, anyone who complains about the reload is a narc. Get out of here. Yeah, well, that's a good thing, right? Because not to piss on anybody, but these people are a lot less prevalent in the PlayStation community than they are in other places. So I expect this game to be widely accepted on PlayStation. I don't think that we're going to see mass numbers of people complaining about these sorts of things unless this turns out to be a timed exclusive and we see this game ported on the other platforms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, it met and in some ways exceeded all of my expectations. Super cool that they're letting people have, a half an hour of content for no charge, a full month ahead of launch, and I suggest anyone who has a PlayStation VR get out there and try it. Now, this game, let me get the details up in front of me here because I want to be extremely accurate in
Shows
what's
their
going on here.
shows their confidence in the game, right? To put out
Absolutely.
that much
Yeah.
gameplay.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It says a lot about anybody who puts out a substantial length playable demo. Um, it really helps to bolster my confidence in the game because it shows that they're confident in the game. They're saying, we have so many. I mean, we've been doing this for a couple years now, right? And we've dealt with so many of these games and so many of these studios that they'll send you their game reluctantly. But I mean, some of these guys come behind ironclad
mm,
embargoes, right? And they don't want you to say a word about their game, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is because it's not as good as it should be. Not the case within Dreams. They know that they're bringing the goods, and that's why they're putting it out there.
yeah, I was thinking of The Walking Dead when you were talking about that onslaught. Yeah, there's there
Well,
when usually if they're tight-lipped about everything, because they want to keep some things to themselves until whatever. But oh, you get to eat some exotic fruit. It looks like.
all right, so I have some confusion here, and maybe Dave and GT can help me clear this up. Yesterday during the live stream, I said that this game is coming on August uh,
20th.
20th. Now, maybe that is the early access date because people who pre-order the deluxe edition of the game get 72 hours of early access. So maybe the 20th is the early access date,
Hmm.
but I'm looking at the document that was sent to me by In Dreams and it says, quote, Fracked will be available August 20th, 2021 with early access for those that have pre-ordered the deluxe edition up to 7. No, see, it even says here uh, the early the those who pre-order the deluxe edition will get access on the 17th of August. So according to what I'm looking at here, this game launches on the 20th. Now people in chat yesterday were correcting me and saying that it comes out on the 24th. That's not what the document that came to me from M Dreams
I
says.
think they're
It
wrong.
says yeah, it says that this game launches on the 20th. If you pre-order the deluxe edition, you get it on the 17th.
Gamertag says you're correct. God,
All
this
right,
fan
thank you.
is driving me crazy. Can you hear that, Wes? Am I the only one hearing that?
I hear it when you speak.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Fucked.
sounds like people who put those things in the bicycle spokes to like make noise when you ride.
Well, yes, and there's good news and bad news as I'm bicyclist Roots here. I'm gonna get the video I wanted. I did walk over there and get a little bit, but I'm gonna get better video apparently. And send this sucker back in, and you know what, Wes? They're gonna send me a 3080. And it just happens. Some people sometimes they send you the next set up, so I'm gonna put it out there
Yeah.
now.
Even a 3070 would be an upgrade.
Yeah, I'll take a 3070 Ti. I'm not gonna complain.
But yeah, you can just link up the episode for them. So check this out. Look what I have to deal with because you a-holes wouldn't send me a card.
Yeah. Oh, the episode is my video. You hear that in the background, you son of a bitch? That's my video card going out.
Anyway, EVGA customer care is top notch, best in the business. I have no doubt that they're going to hook you up
That's why.
quickly.
That's why. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I go with UVGA.
Me too. Me too. Anyway, again, the regular edition of Fracked, 29.99, but the deluxe edition is only
Mm,
bucks more. In addition to all this artwork and soundtrack stuff that you get with the deluxe edition, you also get it 3 days earlier. So definitely worth your extra $5 there if you have it available to you.
yeah, especially if you're a content creator. Onikazi says whenever he mentioned it, it's quiet. It stopped for a second. Whenever he mentioned it, he was talking about Lone Echo too. So
Oh,
he
okay.
apologizes. And he may have either, and that happens a lot, especially when you're streaming. Like you'll see something and they're talking about something else that you've talked about or
Right.
earlier, and you think it's something else. You know.
Right. So, I was streaming PlayStation VR through the capture card. So the only way I had to read the chat was
Phone.
by keeping my phone in my lap,
Mm.
and I would just pick it up every now and then and read the last few comments. So easy confusion there. My bad, and my apologies once again to Onakazi because I accidentally deleted one of his comments and put him in timeout for 5 minutes
Ooh.
yesterday. So like I picked up my phone to read the comments and it said you just timed out Onakazi, and I was like, oh shit.
Well, it was no one on Akazi. He probably said something kind of snarky. No, I'm just kidding. Man, that's now it's really loud. I think I pissed my video card off.
But speaking of Lone Echo 2, are we pumped for Lone Echo 2, Roots?
I am not necessarily pumped for it. I'm excited for everybody else that's pumped for it. I'll check it out. I'll play it. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, and I'll go on some more fetch quests, and I'll ooh and ah about how gorgeous it looks. I'm hoping that it's going to be next level. My only concern about Lone Echo 2 is that it's going to be more of the same because everything that I saw video wise of it so far, it looks like the first game. Like if you said, here's footage of Lone Echo 1, I'd be like, oh yeah, I played that. I wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that's definitive that stands out that's like, okay, this is the next. Now I might get in there and it'd be blown away. You know what I mean? Like the story is what was cool about the first one. So as long as they continue that, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I will say this. I'll say this. Even if this game is indistinguishable graphically from the first one, if they just did another chapter in the exact same engine, this could still turn out to be very good.
Mm,
And it remains to be seen. But if these guys turn out to be master storytellers and the story really takes a sharp turn that we don't see coming, it could end up being great, right? Because even by today's standards, Lone Echo, one of the most beautiful and immersive experiences in all of VR. And yeah, I look forward to see what direction they're going to take it in.
yeah, absolutely. Diz says he questions my soul. Gamer tag says he can hear the fan, but you can't hear it now. It's so annoying to hear because it's like only like what I said, only when I talk. So it's like I kind of have to talk, but it makes me not want to talk. So,
Gamertag says it sounds like you're shaking a can of change for trying to get donations.
I am actually that is underneath the thing. I was trying to get some extra moolah. Um, but yeah,
Anyway, Onakazi, I'm with Wes here. Thought that there was a lull or two in Lone Echo 1, but still thought it was great. Yeah, I mean, production wise, I mean, honestly, I mean, there. How much room for improvement is there really over the first one? Like, if they improve upon that at all from a production standpoint, it's going to be the best thing graphically we've ever seen. So, like, graphics were never the issue with that. It was all more about the gameplay there. Like, um, I mean, you said it's a bit of a fetch quest, but stuff like that's all about the storytelling. So this is the second chapter. Let's hope that that this is the climax, the peak of it, and they really take us on a ride this time.
yeah, they better. We've been waiting a long time.
Anyway, more on that to come on Sunday, because now we've still got games upon games to talk about, and let's talk a little bit about Yuki. Yuki comes to us from Arvor, the studio behind the excellent Pixel Ripped series. Uh, this hits the Oculus Quest store and the Steam store tomorrow.
Oh,
And Ruuts and I got access to it, I don't know, 7, 10 days ago, something like that. And uh, thank you, of course, to the awesome people at Arvor who reached out to us with review access. They've always been so super great to us, and we really appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. You know what blew me away, Wes, today? Because I played it originally, played it. The video that you're watching here was on the Steam version, and I decided to go into the Quest version today, and I I couldn't, like, I was picked up that Yuki thing, that little thing that I looked at before, and it just looked so good and clear, and I just couldn't believe how good this thing looks on the Quest as well. Really couldn't tell much of a difference. I mean, it's been a few days since I played it, but just looked phenomenal. Played just as well, obviously, and super cool.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, Roots, and it's not because I tried the Steam VR version because I didn't. I only played this on Quest 2. But I knew you were going to say that because I was blown away as soon as I loaded into this room. I was blown away at how real everything looked. Like, I mean, obviously, you're not going to find very many rooms in real life that look like this one, but everything looked like it was actual, like an actual thing right in front of you. Super clear, uh, perfect 3D depth. I mean, everything kind of had a texture to it, and the way the light bounced off of it, it was very realistic, seemingly. So yeah, that was the one thing that really hit me right off the top with this one, was just how good it looks on the standalone version. And that's what I was thinking to myself is like, this can't look that much better on PC. There's no way.
No, it looked good on the PC as well. But you know what was kind of cool was turning her into a linebacker or running back, because you could, like, she puts her hands out side to side. See, that character is really cool. The animations, right? So far I'm having a really good time, and it's hard actually. Can't tell you now. It's procedurally generated, kind of like Returnal, right? And
Yeah.
it's so there's the first couple times I've played, I don't know what the difference was between the other ones, but it was ridiculously hard. Like I could there was I don't, I'm thinking I got one shield, I need like seven, because there's so much shit coming at me. And one of the coolest things that I thought was when this big huge ball is coming right at my face. And then right before it gets there, it breaks up into like 20 balls, you know what I mean? And it's like, it the first few times it literally shocked the crap out of me, because I thought, oh my god, this thing's coming at my face, you know? And then all of a sudden it just that was crazy.
Yeah, man. Not easy at all, this game, especially at first. And my first 2 or 3 plays through it, I was a bit scared because I found myself more frustrated than having fun. It was very difficult. Um, but like most good roguelikes, um, you develop traits in between the games. So you die and you get to upload or upgrade rather Yuki, and that makes the next run easier than the last. And the cool thing about it, like Returnal, like a Persistence, um, it's endlessly replayable because the levels are different. Now, let me be clear about how the levels are different. The actual scenery doesn't change. This is all identical. You go through the same uh, kind of linear path on rails every time. What changes is the enemy configurations and the obstacles. There are obstacles you have to dodge. And by the way, this is a game like Space Cats with lasers. It's a bullet hell game, but instead of you dodging things with your body, the character is in your hands like Hello Puppets, or again, space cats with lasers. So you're dodging with your hand. But the play area is so big and there's so many different obstacles and bullets just everywhere. You can't play this seated, or I wouldn't recommend it.
Mm-mm.
In fact, I wouldn't recommend trying this in a small play space. You need to have a little bit of room to play this game because, I mean, you got to move, man.
Yeah, no, it's warned you right in the beginning. And I tried to play seated the first time I played it, and it was really bad. And you got to have some space, bro. Like you're gonna break something if you're not careful.
Yeah, but anyway, very difficult at first, but you find that you power up rather quickly, especially at first. And the way that the power ups work is you gain XP points every time you run through, and then it allows you to purchase and unlock upgrades. Now you get you get XP for killing enemies. You get XP for something to do with bullet grazing or something like that. I don't even know what that means. And then you get XP for collecting these orbs, which is kind of supposedly the purpose of the game is to collect this creative force they call it, and all of that gets tallied together, and then you go to the workshop in between levels, and you'll find things in the workshop right off the bat, like you can permanently upgrade your maximum health. Uh, One of the ones I really enjoyed, Roots, is you can buy drones. So,
Mm,
like, instead of just having Yuki firing at the enemies, um, you can have drones with Yuki, and it works kind of like when you get the upgrades in 1976, Return to Midway. You know, at first you have a stream of one bullet, then two, then four. Uh, it doesn't allow you to take out large groups of enemies, but what it does, it allows you to kill enemies much more quickly. So whereas before you'd have to hit them like five, six, seven times to kill them, now you hit them once, twice, and they're gone. And that makes a huge difference because the faster you get the enemies out of there, the less bullets you have coming back at you.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had one point in my first run before I had to redo the video. I had 8 drones, I think, stacked up. Like I just kept getting drones like you, and because that's cool. It's like extra guns. And what's cool is it's not like other games where the drones can get shot. At least I don't know. Can they get shot and
I
killed?
didn't notice it. I didn't notice it at all if they did.
Okay. Yeah. Man, that's it. Like if they want proof that my video card fan is going out, I have so much proof right now that I want to smash
Well, let's
it.
get through the rest of the show and then you can smash it up, bro.
Smash, bro. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, you're the way the game works is you have this action figure character that you're kind of I guess the game is kind of taking place in your imagination, kind of like Pixel Ripped in that effect, or in that regard rather. But you also have this orb in your offhand, and it's kind of like your guide. It's telling you how to play the game. It's telling you to be sure to get your upgrades. It's constantly talking to you. But it's not only doing that, but it also has abilities to help you offensively. And right off the bat, you get this kind of this freeze bomb type thing where it will freeze all the enemies on the screen for a period of time and allow Yuki to pick them all off without having to face the otherwise overwhelming barrage of bullets.
Yeah, you know what I thought was cool about this is it felt like a lot like it was like Space Invaders at times with some of the enemies. I just felt like there was a lot of different nostalgia just of different games playing this. And this is where I was talking. Look at this, dude. What the hell am I supposed to do with these guys, bro? Like there's no I guess I didn't use the freeze bomb. That would have helped. Um I don't know. I didn't use my freeze bomb enough, Wes. There's just look at
Yeah,
this, dude. This is ridiculous, bro. Like that I didn't. I just figured. I guess I'm supposed to die because it seemed
yeah,
overwhelming to me.
yeah. I think that everyone's supposed to die at that part. I took a few of them with me, but yeah, I fell as well. But what you're saying is true. I didn't use my freeze bomb enough. I didn't use my shield enough. So you've got a special defensive ability on each hand that you can use once every now and then. After you use it, it depletes and you have to wait for it to recharge. That goes for the freeze bomb. That goes for the shield as well. And like you, I didn't use those nearly enough either, because the game's just so overwhelming. Like it's all that you can do to try to be offensive, not get hit, and collect all of the creative force. I mean, that's three things you're already doing there. It's hard to remember. You've got a shield. You've got a freeze bomb. Um, so yeah, it's something that I go into the levels, telling myself, remember to use your stuff. Um, but again, in addition to it being overwhelming, I'm fighting my conservative nature that wants to save it for when you really need it, right? But you constantly really need it. So it's something I need to be more mindful of and use more often.
Well, and there's a lot of different ways you can change things, right? Can't you like shave off time on the how long you have till you can use it again? I mean, that was what was kind of cool. Is there's so many different ways to upgrade. Whether it be, I mean, I always go for like fire rate if I can, but you can do health and just a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, I generally tend to gravitate towards defensive and statistical upgrades. So like if I can grow my health bar, I'll do that first. If I can make my shield regenerate faster, I'll take that next.
Mm.
Things like that will preserve my life and allow me to hang in there a little bit longer. Typically, not just in this game, but all games, I typically try to go for those kind of upgrades first.
See, I always go for the fire rate because just for like the games like this, because like you said, the quicker they die, the less bullets I have coming at me. So I'm
Right.
trying to get them to death as quick as possible.
Now, with that said, anytime I had a chance to grab a drone, I went for that every time because it really allows you to melt these early enemies quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But very creative. It's so clearly an Arvor game, right? Like if somebody were to put you into this game blind and ask you who developed this game, Arvor would probably be the first, if not second, thing you guess, right? It feels like an Arvor game.
Yeah. Well, I'd ask him to turn it up since I'm blind. I can't see it. No. Oh, you mean blind? Yeah. No, I definitely, if I didn't know who the developer was, absolutely, is definitely an amazing. It's just very fantasy like, right? I mean, the only thing that doesn't have that the Pixel Rips had was more of a story, but this is a bullet hell shooter. It's not a story based game. So
Right. And it does have a cool backstory. I like the thing that they're doing with the flower of life and the creative force, and it's kind of has like this mythology. Is kind of what it uses for a backstory, and it works pretty well. And it fits with the art style because I noticed a lot of like Japanese influence. I guess because it's probably based on some kind of like an
mm,
anime or inspired by some kind of anime. Because a lot of like the enemies, not only did they look, Asian in the way that they looked in the style of it, but like the names of the enemies are things that you find in like Japanese folklore. So um I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
yeah, absolutely. Even Yuki, I think, is Japanese. So
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
just think I just think it was very colorful, very the 3D really popped. And what's the cost on this? Is what, $20?
$20, yeah.
Yeah, definitely worth
And like Fracked, which I don't know if you can still do it now. I was going to say you could pre-order it and get early access,
mm.
but the thing comes out tomorrow, so that might be over with by
You
now.
still might be able to get it and get the $2 discount because it was a 10% discount as
Yeah,
well.
it is possible. Yeah, there was a 10% pre-order discount on the Oculus Quest store, and if it's still available for pre-order, it should unlock for you immediately, because again, the game launches tomorrow, and recommend for me at $20. I agree with what you were saying, Roots. Like a lot of the enemies, the way they come into the level and follow this path, it reminded me of Galaga.
Mm.
Like how the enemies come in and they kind of stay in line, and but they have this really clearly defined path that they travel on. and it played like that. It played like an old arcade shooter at times.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I enjoyed my time in it, and I can't wait to get back into it. It's hard.
Dark,
It's hard. I will
yeah,
tell you that. It's not easy. You're gonna bang your head into the wall for a little bit until you get some stuff built up.
yeah, but hang in there. It rewards you for your persistence.
Yep.
Dark Angel in the chat said, got off my duff briefly to say hi again from the computer. I'm watching on the boob tube from the couch, nursing a headache. No chat, but definitely enjoying the show. Well, thank you, Dark Angel. She's nursing a headache, Roots. I wonder if she has the Bobo VR head strap
If
because
she
that thing
is,
gives me a headache.
dude, I'm telling you, you just gotta wear it properly, man. Just have it cupped. I mean, all the
Tried,
way
man.
down. Try it. Did
I
you?
tried.
What? Come
Yeah, I
on,
went back in it.
bro.
Even with the strap on it, like even with
Hmm.
the central strap on it, cupping it all the way back down to my neck, the thing still gets on my nerves. I think I'm gonna have to cut those knobs off of there.
Why did they put those knobs on there? I looked at it when I first got it on, man, trying to put it on. I was like, this is not right, dude. Because if you try to wear it like a traditional thing, what you need to do is just make it look like the Rift S and then put it on, and then it fits. So,
I tell you what, it made me appreciate how comfortable the Elite strap is, although it is a piece of shit that breaks. Like I have black tape on both of sides of my Elite strap now, just so that it stays together.
mm,
But it works, and it's comfortable. So I'm gonna keep it until I can't.
I just think that the design flaw. It's just there's too much pressure on those thin plastic things, right? And people put them on. They wear them in such weird ways. And if you have that knob tight at all, and you try to put it up on your forehead, you're putting a lot of pressure on there. And people are like, I don't know why it cracked. I'm like, well, I know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, dude, this is my second one, and I've been very, very gentle with it, and it still broke. It's a
mm,
piece of crap.
that's well, I'm not
Like,
saying.
like I taped it up on both sides because it broke on the one side, and I taped it up, and then I looked at the other side, and the other side had two cracks in it, and I was like, God, man. So I just taped it completely up on both sides,
Are you gonna get
and
another one? No,
I
just kidding.
mean,
Go
maybe.
buy one, right? You could trade it in. You could send it back. They'll give you a
Well,
freshie,
that's what I'm gonna
bro.
do. That's absolutely what I'll do. I'll go pick one up from Walmart. I'll put this one in the box and
Mm.
take it back.
Hey, this thing's broke, dude. It's garbage.
Dark Angel says, "Strap on, strap off." You know who loves strap it on, Roots?
My mom!
Oh yeah, she does.
Anyway, Fracked was awesome. Yuki was awesome. That would be enough for any regular week of VR for us. But no, not this week. We just kept right on going, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, and this next one was kind of weird too because I didn't expect what I was getting, dude. Like this, the gameplay was very unique, right?
Full of surprises is Squingle. So Squingle just launched on Steam as well as Oculus
Hmm.
Quest applab. Now, I um I tried the demo for Squingle, which is like the first 8 or 10 levels during this Steam Next Fest, and I was really impressed. Such a beautiful game, and you know when I found out that it had launched, and I found out that it was on Quest, I didn't know they were going to launch it on Quest. I tagged the developer on Twitter, and I asked them, if we could review their game, and that's when I found out it was coming to Quest. He asked me which version I wanted, and I was like, well, I'm kind of torn because it's so beautiful on Steam, uh, but I have a feeling that the Quest audience is going to be more receptive of a game like this. So I really didn't know which one to pick. And he said, well, let me help you. I think that the Quest version is better personally. And I said, well, okay, then give me the Quest version. And I got to admit, I was skeptical coming in that this could be anywhere near what the Steam version looks like. But coming in and jumping in there, I was not disappointed at all. This is, I mean, it looks amazing, doesn't it, in the headset?
Yeah, absolutely. Did were you confused at all? Because I was super confused at first. I was like, "What the hell?
Dude,
What is going on? What do I do? Like, how do I start this thing? I'm looking at this trippy big thing. It looked like maybe I should be tripping on acid or something." Um,
dude, I stared into the title screen for probably 5 minutes when I played this Quest version for the first time. Because if you stare right into that thing's face and don't look away, it moves. Like your environment moves around you very, very, very slowly. Um, but if you focus on that face, uh, things start to look real weird.
hmm.
Even if you're straight sober staring into that thing, things start to change shape and move, and it's trippy as it can be, man.
Well, yeah. Wolveraza says I need to do some more drugs and play it. You know what it reminded me of, Wes? I felt like I was trying to move objects through intestines for some reason. And sometimes I'd get the objects jammed in there and the intestines didn't like it. And then all of a sudden I had to start over. But it was kind of cool. It was different. It was like, so essentially what you got, this one orb, you got to take it through the maze or whatever. And I guess you're picking up these extra things. And what you probably like about it, Wes, is that you can go back in and you can get different levels, right? The stars, like you can just, I just tried to go through from level to level. I'm sure you tried to perfect them, right?
Well, yes, and doubly so after the last time that I played it because again, this game is full of surprises and I discovered one very big surprise the last time I played, and that is, and I hesitate to say it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but people should know because it's not extremely obvious. Um, so you have these mazes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at first, they're very simple. You just make it through without popping the walls, and you go on to the next one. But as they get as time goes on, the mazes get bigger. There's more corridors for you to go down, and there are these other little orbs that you have to collect. Now, you don't have to, but you can. You can collect these before you finish the level, uh, and they'll tell you at the end how many you got and how many you didn't. Um, and then you're graded on a 1, 2, or 3 star system, much like Angry Birds or games like that, depending on how fast you get through it. I found out today, Roots, that after you make it so far, the levels that you get 3 stars on,
Hmm.
you can replay in first person as one of the orbs. Like
Really?
you replay your journey through the tubes uh from the perspective of the orb. So you get to
Wow.
see you get to relive your path that you took from the inside of this thing. And it is just friggin' crazy looking when you get down in it.
Did you do it?
Oh yeah, dude, it's amazing.
What? You did it without me, bro. Like you didn't tell me about this. That sounds pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of uniqueness to it. I think that would be super cool. And what's kind of cool about it too, is you can't just take these balls through the intestines. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just they don't just go they're rotating, right? So like you have to constantly be aware of the rotation, and there's these other orbs that you hit that reverse the things, right? So there's a lot more strategy to this than you would think, because at first you just think, okay, I'm moving this thing through, it's going to be easy. And then it just starts to, I mean, things start getting jammed up and you have to try to figure out how am I going to get it through here, right? I thought it was really
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah, the rotation makes it so that you have timing and strategy elements involved. So the timing, it's all about hitting these certain corridors at the right time in your rotation so that you can make it through. If you hit it wrong, it won't fit. And then the strategy comes in uh, with what Roots was saying that you can reverse the rotation, and there's different paths that you can take through these mazes, but you can only go if it's rotating a certain way. And then uh, to even add another layer to the timing and strategy as you progress deeper into the game, it's not just about reversing the rotation, but you can reverse the axis as well. So instead of rotating up and down, you can make it so that it rotates in and
Fuck.
out. So like you're working on four axes as well. So it gets really complex.
It was already
Pretty
it was hard
yeah,
enough, dude. My lord, dude. I can't even imagine throwing the sideways thing in there. That's cool.
but it's very rewarding as you go on and you get better at it. Uh, because I mean, there is kind of a backstory at play here, more of like a mythology type thing. It reminds you of almost kind of a Eastern mysticism, the way that they're tying this thing in. But I won't talk too much on that. I'll let people discover it for themselves. But it's also rewarding in the way of these extra features, like I was talking about, where you can replay the level from the inside of the thing. That's really probably my favorite part of the whole thing. Was just sitting back after I've finished a level and riding, my way through the maze.
I feel like I got screwed. I didn't get the full experience. I'm gonna have to go back in there.
Absolutely. Um, the Quest 2, I mean, every week, week after week, we're seeing more of this device's capabilities, and it's getting closer and closer to PC quality graphically, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's starting to get to the point where you can't really distinguish too much difference, if at all. And that's good. I mean, this is what I tell customers when I'm talking about VR headsets. Because I've been in it for a while. I I believe. I mean, it's the best headset I've used. I haven't used the Reverb G2. But it's a phenomenally amazing headset that Scion needs to get. He's missing out, bro. Missing out.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lost cause at this point, I think.
But they got the 128 gigabyte now instead of the 64. I
Yeah,
would.
that's what I hear. Well, we'll see about that, but that's what I hear. I'm hoping that there's additional features, and it's not just going to be a memory upgrade. But hey, if it's a free memory upgrade for the the base level consumer, then good for them. I think it's indicative. If it's true, it's indicative of what direction they're going in. Right, bigger, richer experiences, which take up more space.
Well, when we said it when that first came out, 64 wasn't good enough. I feel like a bad son now, Wes. My dad's got the 64 gig, the ghetto version. I could have got him the 128. So
Let's be honest though, is he really going to fill up that 64? Probably
no,
not.
I guarantee. I don't even know how many games he's got yet. I suggested 11 table tennis, and I know he had to have gotten missed. So
Yeah, my dad has I think 3 or 4 games, and I think I've got half of them for him. So
I got 110 games on there, and I still got like tons of space, bro.
that's crazy. I've got 98.
Yeah, I just
Like
yeah. Well, we're close. I mean.
yeah, and I'm the same as you. Like it doesn't. I mean, there's still plenty of room to put more. But
Do it yourself VR channels got a good point. 64 gig is enough for wireless streaming. No difference for PC VR. Absolutely. Um,
yeah, man, all you need is your Steam Deck, and you'll be all set.
but for anybody like, and I always use this, yeah, the Steam Deck. I always use this example, Wes, you as an example to people whenever they say, oh, I don't need any more than 64 gigs. I say, well, what if your power goes out for a week? And all you have is your Quest 2 to keep you entertained, and you can just I can just re-download and get rid of. No, you can't. Not in that situation. You cannot. What you have is what you have. And Wes, I'm sure, was very happy. He had his entire library on there. So
Such a lifesaver, man. Having that Quest 2 that week we were out without power, dude, it was such a lifesaver.
yeah, I bet.
I didn't get bored. I didn't get bored. I actually played more VR when I had no electricity than when my power's on. So,
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Cool.
yeah. Ray Pope says if they do a 128 gig for base price, I'll buy another one for multiplayer. Yeah, man. I picked up another one used just for that reason. They're showing up on Facebook Marketplace for very reasonable prices now. Like people asking 250 for them, they'll take 200. If you offer them 175 or something like that, they'll meet you in the middle. And I get people are hesitant to want to put something on their face that's been on someone else's face, but I would just remind people that you can get a VR cover, you can get a head strap, and anything that actually touches you at all is all going to be brand new anyway. So, um,
My
uh,
thing is people don't take care of anything anymore. You know what I mean?
well, you
So
can check that part of it though. I mean,
I don't want to.
that like
I'm too lazy. I just want to grab it and run and then
oh,
be
I
pissed
tested
later.
mine out before I handed that dude my money. I took it out, I powered it up, I made sure it worked, and then I gave him
I
the money.
pointed it at the sun. Before I gave my guy the money, I flipped the PlayStation 5 box over and made sure the seal was good, wasn't tampered with.
Oh, so yours was brand new, huh?
Oh yeah, it was a brand new Facebook mark. So I was talking to a customer about the PlayStation 5, talking about mine and just how awesome it was, and he looked up on Facebook Marketplace and he's like, "Is this a good deal?" And he showed me it was a used one. It was a disc one, came with an extra controller and a game, and it was $600. I was like, "Fuck, dude, jump on that thing, dude. That is smoking good deal. That is too good
For
almost."
sure. Yeah, man, it's weird. Things are just all of a sudden coming back into stock. I mean, graphics cards at Best Buy yesterday. There was a huge drop of graphics cards at Best Buy yesterday.
Yeah, well, I know that there was a big line. This is because I saw it was going to be 7:30 in the morning, right? They said just line up, and I happened to be driving by there about 8 o'clock or something, and there was hundreds of people in line, and I have to laugh to myself because every store's probably got like 15 or 20. If you're in the
Uh,
line and there are 200 people back,
yeah,
you're
you're
kind of
wasting your
dumb.
time.
You're wasting your time. You're not going to get it if you weren't there and you're not in the first 20 people. You're probably not getting it. Um, but it's still the biggest drop that they've had, and actually letting people go in and physically line up. Thank God, finally, let us come in and get it.
Do it yourself VR channel says in Poland, used Quest 1s are still 250 to $300. Now, people are asking that for them here. But are people buying them for
Mm.
that? No, nobody's paying that for
Well,
those.
it just shows you might as well try. Like even my PlayStation 5, I got the guy to knock $50 off of it. You know what I mean? And I just said, I'm just
Uh,
gonna, why not try? And that's why I went with him. I said, screw it, dude. This is a good deal. Taking it.
yeah, people always overprice things because they know somebody's going to come and try to barter with them and try to try to get them to come down. So everybody intentionally overprices things. Now, with that said, I've had my Mantis VR headphones and my my Marcel M cable up on Facebook for like 6 months now. Nobody's interested in it around
Mm,
here. I've got $25 on my Mantis headphones
mm.
and 75 on my M cable, and nobody's biting on it. And it
Wow.
just blows my mind. I guess nobody around here is really hardcore into VR like that.
It's weird what shit. I mean, if I put, usually it depends on what it is, but Facebook Marketplace, usually stuff will go quick. Um,
Yeah,
so,
well, these are PSVR specific
mm,
items, and it's late in PSVR's life cycle, so I guess the demand isn't what it once was.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, 64 gigabyte. I think you could probably get up getting some of those pretty cheap pretty soon here. So keep an eye out.
Yep. Absolutely. Anyway, $20 for Squingle Roots. What do you think?
I think it's worth $20 if you like puzzle games. It's definitely unique. It's definitely
Very.
the thing that you just said. I didn't even know I could do if I can ride the rail. You know what I mean? Like, what would be cool is if you could unlock them all and then just go ride them all, and then you could just take some mushroom. I had guy showing me his mushrooms that he was growing in his apartment yesterday. I guess that's legal to do now here too. So
Oh, is it really? That's cool.
yeah, now he was putting them
Uh,
in mushroom or in cupcakes and everything. So
yeah, if you like trippy visuals, it's worth the $20 just for the title screen of this thing. It's so crazy. But if you like unique puzzle games, I mean, this is about as unique as they come. It's very well done. I was shocked, Roots. Like, why in the world is this relegated to applab? This is such high quality. Like, this should be on the regular Oculus store easily, right?
Yeah, there's some weird stuff. Somebody was saying something about another game that is on the regular store and just how bad it is, and I won't don't want to throw any games under the bus, but I kind of agree. And it's like, there's it just makes no sense, man. There's good games on App Lab, stuck to App Lab, and then these games that make it to the store are like mediocre, and you wonder what's going on, right? So
Yeah, yeah. This one just blows me away, though. It's such high quality, production wise, concept wise. I mean, this is a great game, and everyone who's played it and reviewed it agrees. Like anybody who's played this game will tell you it's a great game. And App Lab, and we all know the BS that comes with having your game on App Lab. So if you are interested in Squingle on Oculus Quest, I have linked it in the description below, so you don't have to go through all that App Lab BS to find it. Just click the link down there, and you can pick it up for yourself.
absolutely.
Anyway, we are winding down, getting close to the end of the episode. But really quickly before we go, we want to say a little bit about the Synth Riders um, newest DLC, Caravan Palace. It's called, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Is that a group, I guess, or a certain type of
Yeah,
music? Okay.
yeah. No, it's a group. I discovered when I got in the game. It's a group, and they play this kind of, I guess it's called electro swing
Mm.
music. So it kind of takes this music from the 1920s and 1930s and then kind of puts a modern twist on it. And I mean, musically, very unique and just the type of thing that you would expect from synth riders because if synth riders has anything, they have the most diverse soundtrack and catalog of music than any of these rhythm games.
Yeah, I was thinking that actually. It was funny. And I was looking at just all the different packs that they have, right? There's so many different ones. And yeah, I like the electric swing music. So maybe that's why I enjoyed this one the most. I actually enjoyed dancing to it, right? It kind of reminded me exactly what you've been saying and I've agreed with. That it's more of a dancing game than it is a rhythm game. And I just like this type of music, and I loved the artistry, the experience was super cool, I thought.
Yeah, as is usually the case with Synth Riders DLC, the highlight of it for me by far is the experience. And for those of you who don't know, these experiences in Synth Riders, they are unscored artistic pieces. So you play it like you would play Synth Riders, but there's no score. It's all about the movement and it's all about the sights and sounds that you're experiencing when you're in there. And as always, absolutely beautiful, amazing experience by far, and it's not even close. These are my favorite thing about Synth Riders.
Yeah, yeah. This was so good, Wes, that not only did I play the experience, which I always do the first time, I always do that first. I ended up playing like 4 or 5 songs, and not only this one, but other ones, other packs, to the point where my thing was going dead, and I would turn it off because it literally was like 10% or something, and so this is the most I've enjoyed playing Synth Riders since I've played it. So it was cool.
Yeah, it feels good to play it, right? Like the haptic feedback when paired up with a well-designed beat map that goes well with the music,
Mm.
it feels good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like I'm like really good. Now, granted, I'm playing on normal, but
I had to move it down to easy
it,
because like I picked one of these songs. It wasn't the first one. It was like one of the bottom ones on the list, and I went in on normal, and it was fucking hard, man. Like I died quick,
I think I know which
and
one you're talking about. What's funny is I did that one normal, but I I didn't the first time. Like I was normal and I had just done the experience and I guess I just thought I was just gonna slide my way through it, bro. And it was like, no, dude, you need to actually hit these notes. You know what I mean? You need to actually do the thing. So I had to get serious. I, you know, got my neck ready and stretched, and then I just rocked it, dude. It was cool.
You know what was cool though is when I played today, I played this first, and then I went out of this into Yuki, and it proved to be a perfect warm up for Yuki because the actual movements that you're doing is
Oh
very similar
yeah,
in both games.
that's true. Yeah, because you're constantly moving stuff around, right, with Yuki.
Yeah, yeah, it was a great workout, warm up to get ready to play Yuki.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, Wes. I really enjoyed. It's funny because Synth Riders has been out quite a while now, and it just seems like they just keep coming out with more content, right? And when we say more content, it's not just um new songs. You know what I mean? Like Beat Saber has new songs, and of course there are new maps and which way to slice, but there's no real experiences, right? So
Right. Well, exactly this game, unlike the other games in this genre, and we've said it a bunch of times before, this game takes you to another place, and you know, e- every song doesn't have its own world, but what there's probably a good 15 or 20 different worlds now that you can play these songs in, right?
yeah, yeah, and it's just really good, and it's a good workout. I mean, you do get moving, and it's got, in my opinion, got the best multiplayer of rhythm games. So it's cool.
Yeah, I haven't tried the multiplayer yet. I still need to get in there and check that out.
It's just so cool the way it's designed. It the where it shines is almost in between matches. You know, it's just like a cool hangout place. Everyone's just chilling, talking, and then getting in there and then doing their thing. So
Yeah. Well, anyway, as usual, I mean, if you've played Synth Riders, then you know what this is. It's another expansion to your catalog. It's more levels. It's a new experience. And again, that was the part that I really enjoyed. That was the experience. I kind of think buying the experience is a no-brainer. You should get that song, and I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it'll show you in the Quest store, which one it is
how does it
that
work?
has the experience.
Does it like
You
package or is it each one's individual?
you can do it both ways. I'm pretty sure. You can buy a
Okay.
pack, or you can buy them individually.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully they would even give you a discount if you'd like decided to try the experience and you liked it. I like the music. Like if you like electric swing or whatever you called it, I as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, dude, because I just like that type of music, right? So it was cool.
I liked musically. I thought two of the songs were okay. It really wasn't my jam, but uh, the
How dare
gameplay was
you!
fun. The gameplay was fun, and the experience was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
DIY VR channel. Do we have a Yuki demo or something somewhere? I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
No, well, I'll tell you what. We demoed it for you. Definitely worth checking out if you like that type of bullet hell game.
Yeah,
Super cool.
and Roots did a 25-minute gameplay a couple days ago. So just scroll back in the Virtual Strangers library here, and you'll see a little bit of it.
Just don't judge me. I didn't do. I did okay. I did okay. I didn't do that
No, nobody does great to start off, I would
good.
imagine. That's very
No,
difficult to begin.
no, that's true.
Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up this week. 4 games up, 4 recommends. And let's be honest, most of the time when we're talking about a game, it's because it's good. We generally don't like to talk about the bad ones. But I would say that everything we played this week was actually very good. So big recommend on all counts.
Isn't that crazy? How often does that happen?
Yeah, not often. And dude, we have stuff to go. Like we've got what the Blair Witch Rift edition. I did end up getting a key for that after after a little while. My contact at Bloober Team was on vacation when
Mm.
when they surprise launched on the Rift store. so I couldn't get a key right away. But as soon as she got back, she hit me up, and we now have access.
Yeah,
And beyond that, Vengeful Rights is coming into full release in a couple weeks, and uh, and we've got access to that, so we might be checking that one out as well.
this would be awesome, dude.
Yeah, so much stuff coming out, too much. It's overwhelming, but it's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, you know what also is a good problem to have is evidence for EVGA. Fuckers have to take my card now, damn it.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
We knew it was coming back, right? The shit don't just break and then magically fix forever. That always comes back. It's like,
Especially with what it was doing. It was so odd. So
yeah. Anyway, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit the button, hit the bell, make sure you're subscribed. Dude, we've done content every day since what, Saturday?
yeah, it seems
Every
like it.
day.
I guess it has been every day, huh?
Yeah. I might do a stream tomorrow just to keep the fucking streak going.
Yeah. It's always fun.
Yeah. Anyway, be sure you hit the bell. Be sure you hit the big red button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're if you don't want the discussion to end, there is an invitation in our description for the Virtual Strangers Discord. This is our home. It's where we live. It's where we're at all day long. We're all there. Everyone that you see in the chat, always there. So why don't you come along and come talk a little VR with us? Come
Yeah,
hang out.
come hang out. That's why we're all so close, because we're a family, bro, and we need you home. You've been out too late. So
Yep, I absolutely agree. So, with that said, friends, we'd like to thank you all once again for watching. For Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you in a couple days. Maybe tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Bye now.